Hey gardening friends, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. This is part 2 of a video that I previously posted where I shared a progress update on all of the seeds that I started both indoors and outdoors during the months of June and July for planting out my fall garden. Now in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing every single plant variety that I'm starting indoors during the month of August, as well as direct sowing outdoors this month as well. So grab a beverage and let's dive in. All right, so now that I've shown you everything that I started outdoors during midsummer, as well as the things I started indoors during the months of June and July, let's dive into all the plant varieties that I'm going to be starting indoors this month. I am almost 12 weeks out from my first fall frost, which gives me plenty of time to start things indoors and give them time to get established before I transplant them out. Now, normally I would start by covering the flowers first, but this time we'll dive into vegetables first, and then I'll cover the herbs and the flowers that I'm going to be starting indoors this month. So we'll first start with the leafy greens. So the first leafy green that I'm going to be starting indoors is my Nero Toscano Kale. And I also grew this in the springtime. I particularly love this variety because it has a very short days to maturity. The back of the seed package says that you can harvest the young baby greens in as little as 21 days. Really love this variety and excited to be growing it again for the fall. The next leafy green I'm going to be starting is Swiss Chard, and I have two different varieties of Swiss Chard that I'm going to be starting. The first variety is the Ford Hook Giant Swiss Chard. That's what that looks like. This one has a days to maturity of 60. And then I also have a Rainbow Swiss Chard, and this has a similar days to maturity. It says 55 to 60 days on the back of the seed packet. Now, I currently have both of these varieties growing in one of my raised beds at the moment. I like to grow more of this in the fall so that I can have an extended harvest. And then the next leafy green that I'm going to be starting is Pak Choy. And this one has a days to maturity of 45 days. So those are like the meaty leafy green vegetables I'm going to be starting. In addition to these leafy greens that I'm going to be starting, I'm also going to be starting some lettuce seeds as well. And I have 4 different varieties that I'm going to be starting. The first variety that I'm going to be starting is Marvel of 4 Seasons. This has a days to maturity of 21 to 55 days. Also going to be starting some red salad bowl. This one has a days to harvest of 70 days, but I find that I can start harvesting these when they're pretty young. I'm also going to be starting some little gem lettuce. This has a days to maturity of 20 to 68 days. And I'm also going to be starting some butter crunch lettuce. Now, I did not have success growing this during the spring. I planted pretty much all 4 of the lettuce seeds that I just showed you. Everything germinated really well except for the butter crunch. So it could be that the seeds are just not viable anymore because they are pretty old. But I am going to try it again and see if I have success growing them for the fall. So those are all the lettuces that I'm going to be starting for a fall harvest. Next up, let's cover squash and cucumbers. Now I'm going to be starting 2 different varieties of squash. The first variety is one that I started and grew for my spring summer crop, and that's the Nimba zucchini squash. I live in a climate where we don't have a very lengthy spring season. And although our fall season is somewhat long, it lasts about, 2.5 to 3 months, I find that the temperatures are still fluctuating quite a bit throughout the fall. And I tend to struggle with growing squash or zucchini when we have really hot weather, which is, pretty typical for my climate. So one of the reasons why I love growing this particular variety is that it's great for short season climates or conditions. Now, I didn't necessarily get a very productive harvest of zucchini squash for my summer crop, but I typically do have much better success growing it during the fall. So I'm excited to see how many squash I'm going to get for my fall harvest. The other squash that I'm going to be starting is a butternut squash, and it's called Waltham Butternut. And I don't believe I've grown this before. This is actually a seed packet that I've had for a couple of years now. Has not even been opened yet. So I'm going to be giving this one a try for the very first time this season. And yeah, we're going to see what happens. So those are the two varieties of squash that I'm going to be growing for a hopefully successful fall harvest. Next up are the cucumbers. Now, I currently have cucumbers that are still productive and growing in the deck garden, but there are cucumber plants in other places that I definitely need to pull and replace with more cucumbers. And then eventually, the cucumber plants in the deck garden are going to need to be replaced as well. So it's a great time for me to start another succession of cucumbers so that I have them ready to go once I pulled all those plants from the deck garden as well as in my raised garden beds. So there's three different varieties of cucumbers that I'm going to be starting this month. Now, the first two varieties are varieties that I started in the late spring and planted out in the early summer. Those are the ones that are still growing out in the garden at the moment. The first one is Bait Alpha, and I find that this one is highly prolific, very productive in my climate. So I'm going to be growing more of this. Really great success growing this one in the deck garden. And the next one is the National Pickling Cucumber. This one did okay this summer. Wasn't highly productive, definitely not as productive as it's been in the past, but I am going to give it another go and see if I have better success growing it as the weather starts to cool down. I love to use both of these varieties to make pickled cucumbers. My kids absolutely love those. Now, the third variety of cucumber that I'm going to be starting is called Homemade Pickles. Now, this is a variety that I've never grown before. It's actually a new variety that I picked up earlier in the season. And it's supposed to be a great pickling cucumber. So I thought I would give it a try. Now, with the cucumber seeds as well as the squash seeds, you can directly sow them outdoors as opposed to starting them indoors. I prefer to start them indoors because I have a lot better control over the growing conditions. And I just don't trust the weather here in my area. At this time of year, it's either really hot and humid outdoors or we're getting a ton of rain. So in order to ensure that I get good seed germination and a healthy, thriving plant that is going to eventually be productive, I'm starting them indoors so that I can have more control over the growing conditions. I just wanted to explain that just in case you were wondering. Now, I'm also going to be starting two herb plant varieties indoors this month as well. The first variety is Dill, and this variety is called Tetra. I currently have this growing in several places in my deck garden, and let me tell you, the butterflies are loving it. The bees love it as well, but the butterflies are really loving it. I mainly grow it for the butterflies, but I'm also growing it this time around so that I can harvest some and preserve it for, cooking, for pickling, and all those good things. So that's Tetra Dill. So for this one, it can take up to a couple of weeks for the seeds to germinate. Once they germinate, though, they take off pretty quickly in terms of, growth. So that's why I'm starting them early in August because it can take them a little while to germinate, 2 weeks, possibly up to 3 weeks. And I want to make sure that I have plenty of time to let them mature and develop before I get ready to transition them outdoors for transplanting. The other herb I'm going to be starting indoors is cilantro. This is a slow bolt cilantro. Now, I also grew this variety in the springtime. What I love about it is that it doesn't go to seed as quickly as traditional cilantro. Cilantro typically prefers cooler growing conditions. So, for my climate, I have better success with the slow bolt variety. I find that I can harvest off of it for a longer period of time before it starts to go to seed and eventually flower. Now, in terms of flowers, there's 2 varieties of flowers I'm gonna be starting indoors. Really, I could start these outdoors, and I may actually end up starting them outdoors. I think, though, I'm gonna start them indoors, but I may change my mind, within the next day or so and, direct sow them outdoors in a flower pot. We'll see. But the 2 varieties of flowers are sunflowers. The first one is called Mexican sunflower, Fiesta del Sol, and it's a beautiful, colorful, dwarf sunflower. And then the other sunflower is called Autumn Beauty. I love growing sunflowers throughout the growing season. I have lots of yellow sunflowers planted all throughout my garden, but those are kind of getting to a point where they're starting to look very tired, very spent. And eventually they're going to stop producing. So, great time for me to start another round of sunflowers so they can have something to replace the sunflowers currently growing out in the garden at the moment. And then there's a couple of varieties that I'm going to be direct sowing this month as well. That includes 2 root vegetables and a couple of varieties of beans. The 2 root vegetables include the carrot carrot. Going to be sowing more of these in my raised garden beds. I'm also going to be direct sowing some radish. This is cherry bell radish. Now, I did direct sow some of the cherry bell radish earlier in the season. Did not really get a great harvest, so I'm hoping for a much better harvest for the fall season. Not exactly sure why I didn't get a good harvest of radish earlier in the season, most likely due to weather conditions. It got warm really fast, and radishes don't usually do very well for me when it starts to get very hot and humid in my area. And then I have a couple varieties of beans. The first one I'm going to be direct sowing is a Blue Lake pole bean, as well as my favorite Gold Rush bush bean and the Jade bush bean. So those are the 3 varieties of beans and 2 root vegetables I'm going to be direct sowing this month. And then I almost forgot to show you there's one other thing that I'm going to be direct sowing, and that is some nasturtiums. These are seeds that I saved from last growing season. I'm planning to primarily sow these in my vegetable garden beds to help reduce pest pressure. As you can see, my seed starting list for the month of August looks a lot different from my seed starting list back in March and April. Earlier this year, I was filling up every single square inch of shelf space under the grow light. But right now, I don't really need to start a massive amount of seeds. My outdoor grow space is full of lots of vegetables that are currently producing, herbs that are overflowing the containers, and flowers that are in full bloom. For me, the month of August is not about starting over from scratch. It's about filling in those small gaps, replacing spent plants, planning ahead for succession crops, and enjoying the peak of what's already growing. I love to know what's still thriving in your gardens right now. Are you starting any seeds this month for fall gardening? Or are you just riding out the summer harvest? Let me know. Now, if you enjoyed this update as well as the seed breakdown, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are not currently subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future progress updates of the seeds that I covered today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I do hope to see all of you back here soon. Until next time, my friends, take care.